Biography of famous American politician and 46th President of United States Joseph Robinette Biden. Welcome to Mr. Biography YouTube channel. This video is about famous American politician and 46th President of United States. Hope you will enjoy this educational-based video and share it with your family and friends. Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. was born on November 20, 1942. He is an American politician who is the 46th and current President of the United States. A member of the Democratic Party, Joseph Robinette Biden previously served as the 47th Vice President from 2009 to 2017 under President Barack Obama, and represented Delaware in the United States Senate from 1973 to 2009. Joe Biden was born in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Biden moved with his family to Delaware in 1953. Joe Biden studied at the University of Delaware before earning his law degree from Syracuse University. Joe Biden was elected to the Newcastle County Council in 1970 and became the sixth youngest senator in U.S. history after Joe Biden was elected to the United States Senate from Delaware in 1972, at age 29. Joe Biden was the chair or ranking member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee for 12 years. Joe Biden chaired the Senate Judiciary Committee from 1987 to 1995, led the effort to pass the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act and the Violence Against Women Act, and oversaw 6 U.S. Supreme Court confirmation hearings, including the contentious hearings for Robert Bork and Clarence Thomas. Joe Biden ran unsuccessfully for the Democratic presidential nomination in 1988 and 2008, before becoming Obama's vice president after they won the 2008 presidential election. During his 2 terms as vice president, Joe Biden frequently represented the administration in negotiations with congressional Republicans and was a close counselor to Obama. Joe Biden and his running mate, Kamala Harris, defeated incumbent Donald Trump in the 2020 presidential election. He became the oldest president in U.S. history and the first to have a female vice president. Joe Biden signed the American Rescue Plan Act to address the COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent recession, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, the Inflation Reduction Act covering deficit reduction, climate change, healthcare, and tax reform, and the Respect for Marriage Act, which codified protections for interracial and same-sex marriages. Joe Biden appointed Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court. In foreign policy, Joe Biden restored America's membership in the Paris Agreement on climate change. In foreign policy, Joe Biden restored America's membership in the Paris Agreement on climate change. Joe Biden completed the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan, during which the Afghan government collapsed and the Taliban seized control. Joe Biden responded to the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine by imposing sanctions on Russia and authorizing foreign aid and weapons shipments to Ukraine. Joe Biden wants to achieve a carbon-free power sector in the U.S. by 2035 and stop emissions completely by 2050. His program includes re-entering the Paris Agreement, nature conservation, and green building. Joe Biden has said the U.S. needs to get tough on China, calling China the most serious competitor that poses challenges to the United States. Get tough. Joe Biden has spoken about human rights abuses in the Xinjiang region to the Chinese Communist Party leader Xi Jinping, pledging to sanction and commercially restrict Chinese government officials and entities who carry out repression. Joe Biden has said he is against regime change, but for providing non-military support to opposition movements. Joe Biden opposed direct U.S. intervention in Libya, voted against U.S. in the Gulf War, voted in favor of the Iraq War, and supports a 2-state solution in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Joe Biden has pledged to end U.S. support for the Saudi Arabian-led intervention in Yemen and to re-evaluate the United States' relationship with Saudi Arabia. Joe Biden supports extending the New START arms control treaty with Russia to limit the number of nuclear weapons deployed by both sides. In 2021, Joe Biden recognized the Armenian genocide, becoming the first U.S. president to do so. Joe Biden was consistently ranked one of the least wealthy members of the Senate, which he attributed to his having been elected young. Feeling that less wealthy public officials may be tempted to accept contributions in exchange for political favors, Joe Biden proposed campaign finance reform measures during his first term. As of November 2009, Joe Biden's worth was $27,012. By November 2020, the Bidens were worth $9 million, largely due to sales of Biden's books and speaking fees after his vice presidency. The political writer Howard Feynman has written, "Biden is not an academic, he's not a theoretical thinker, he's a great street Paul." Joe Biden comes from a long line of working people in Scranton, auto salesmen, car dealers, people who know how to make a sale. Joe Biden has that great Irish gift. Political columnist David S. Broder wrote that Biden has grown over time, he responds to real people, that's been consistent throughout. And his ability to understand himself and deal with other politicians has gotten much better. Journalist James Straub has written that Biden is the kind of fundamentally happy person who can be as generous toward others as he is to himself. In recent years, especially after the 2015 death of his elder son Beau, Joe Biden has been noted for his empathetic nature and ability to communicate about grief. In 2020, CNN wrote that his presidential campaign aimed to make him healer-in-chief, while the New York Times described his extensive history of being called upon to give eulogies. Journalist and TV anchor Wolf Blitzer has described Joe Biden as loquacious. Joe Biden often deviates from prepared remarks and sometimes puts his foot in his mouth. The New York Times wrote that Biden's weak filters make him capable of blurting out pretty much anything. In 2018, Joe Biden called himself a gaffe machine. Some of his gaffes have been characterized as racially insensitive. According to the New York Times, Joe Biden often embellishes elements of his life or exaggerates, a trait also noted by the New Yorker in 2014. For instance, Joe Biden has claimed to have been more active in the civil rights movement than he actually was, and has falsely recalled being an excellent student who earned 3 college degrees. The Times wrote, Mr. Biden's folksiness can veer into folklore, with dates that don't quite add up and details that are exaggerated or wrong, the factual edges shaved off to make them more powerful for audiences. Thanks a lot for watching our professional Mr. Biography YouTube channel. You can help us to promote our Mr. Biography YouTube channel by like, comment, share and subscribe Mr. Biography YouTube channel. Stay in touch. Thanks for watching full video about Joe Biden.